McGraw-Hill Professional presents One Simple Idea. Turn your dreams into a licensing goldmine while letting others do the work. Revised and Expanded Edition. Written by Stephen Key with Colleen Sell. Narrated by A.T. Chandler. Preface. The Ferris Effect. Back in 2003, when I first started teaching my 10 Steps to Bring Your Idea to Market course, a guy who didn't look much like a student started showing up at my classes. Unusually fit, he wore leather from head to toe and carried a motorcycle helmet. Long after everyone else had settled down, he would walk in and scan the room for the perfect spot to sit and focus. Thus positioned, he would cock his head and fix a penetrating look at either my partner Andrew or me as we spoke from the front of the room. I got the sense he was absorbing every story, statistic, and strategy we shared and was turning them over in his mind. At the end of class, students would mill around deferentially, eager to ask questions. But Tim Ferriss didn't waste time on small talk. "Let's go out for gin and tonics," he proposed. "I need to know more." I waved him off at first, but he persisted. He wanted to learn how I had become my own boss with tens of thousands of people whom I didn't know working for me. Eventually, I went out for those drinks, in part just to shut him up. Tim has got to be the most persistent individual I've ever met, and he drilled me about what I do and how he could apply my experiences to his business. You see, Tim had created a dietary supplement, Brain Quicken, and, like many entrepreneurs, he had also launched a company to manufacture and market it. Now he wanted to do what I do, get a licensee to manufacture and market his idea for him so he could kick back and collect royalty checks. Eventually, Tim took off to travel the world, calling in periodically for more advice about how to turn his company from a time-sucking machine into a passive income generator. One day in 2005, he called me from Argentina, where he was studying tango, to announce he was writing a book. He asked me to read what he had written thus far. Tim's book came to be titled The 4-Hour Work Week, and it quickly climbed to the #1 spot on the New York Times bestsellers list. The lessons Tim learned from my classes helped him form the book's underlying philosophy. In it, he coins the term lifestyle design and describes me as a member of a quiet subculture of people called the New Rich, people who have escaped the rat race and discovered how to live the life they want to. Teaching had begun as a side project, but a few months after Tim's book came out, a flood of new students began signing up for our course. "Wow," I said to my wife one day after I got home. "We're going to have to start taking this seriously." Thanks to what I now call the Ferris Effect, the number of my students keeps growing. I have now taught people from more than 30 countries, including Australia, Bolivia, Costa Rica, Chile, Norway, Iceland, Singapore, and Canada. The strategies I teach can work for anyone, anywhere. My students hunger to pick up where the 4-hour work week leaves off, which is what my classes and this book do. For the last 30 years, I've designed my lifestyle by renting my ideas out to large corporations. What I do and how I do it is simple, even if it isn't always easy. However, it is easier today than it has ever been before because of a phenomenon called open innovation, which anyone at all, regardless of education or background, can take advantage of. One of my life's passions is teaching others my roadmap for jumping into the innovation stream and becoming their own boss. I've condensed my teachings into these 20 chapters. Whether people learn this roadmap from me or figure it out for themselves, I believe many, many more people will begin designing their lifestyles this way in the future. Although Tim came to me for help at first, he ended up returning the favor. "Tim, next time you're in town, drinks are on me." Forward. I remember getting the call like it was yesterday. The head of McGraw-Hill Education's San Francisco office called me and asked if I would like to write a book. He had discovered my coaching business online and thought it had a growing audience. I can barely put 2 sentences together, so I was very flattered. At that point, I had been teaching inventors how to bring their product ideas to market through licensing for more than a decade. McGraw-Hill Education wanted me to write about the 10 simple steps that were, and still are, the foundation of our year-long program. At the time, Andrew and I scratched our heads. Were we really going to give away all of our content for the price of a hardback book? But I remember hearing from trusted sources that if you have really great content and you share it with the world, people will follow you. I asked Tim Ferriss, my former student and author of the best-selling book The 4-Hour Workweek, for his advice. His only comment was, "If you're going to write a book, write it like it's your last. Don't hold anything back." Tim, once again, I want to thank you for your spot-on advice. I poured everything I knew into the first edition of this book. One simple idea: turn your dreams into a licensing goldmine while letting others do the work. And something seems to have worked. Since One Simple Idea was published in 2011, it has been translated into 5 other languages and is still a top seller on Amazon. But what gives me the most pleasure, by far, is hearing from people who have licensed their ideas simply by reading this book. They haven't wasted their money paying for expensive patents. Sometimes they haven't even built prototypes. They relied on the 10 simple steps outlined in this book to get it done. They and I know this works. Why a revised and expanded edition then? I'm excited to report that things have changed a great deal in 4 years. The opportunity for creative people to profit from their ideas has never been greater because open innovation is that much more popular. Companies all over the world are hungry for your ideas. This edition contains new details and an even greater level of specificity when it comes to licensing your ideas. I wanted to give you the latest, cutting-edge strategies that my students are using to sign licensing deals, so even more of you can license your ideas using this book as a guide. For example, it includes the new strategies my students are using to get into potential licensees, like video sell sheets. It details how to get in by attending a trade show cheaply. It will teach you how to work with freelancers to bring your ideas to life with 3D computer graphics. It explains what the new patent rules mean for you, as well as how to use intellectual property strategically from a business perspective. It further lays out how to negotiate so that everyone wins. It's never been easier to stay current, to be inspired by what other creative people are doing, and to find the right home for your idea. I've never been more excited about what I do for a living, and that's due in large part to the response that One Simple Idea has received. I want to share every bit of what I know about this process so you too can sit back and enjoy getting the biggest companies in the world to work for you, instead of the other way around. I had no idea the licensing lifestyle would resonate with so many people. But then again, why wouldn't it? Introduction: How One Simple Idea Led to the Life of My Dreams. Hi, my name is Stephen Key, and I am a successful entrepreneur and licensing expert. I don't have a degree in engineering, marketing, or business. I don't own a big company, nor am I employed by a big company. Instead, companies work for me, bringing my product ideas to life while I sit back collecting royalty checks, creating new product ideas, and enjoying the life of my dreams with my beautiful wife and our 3 children. I wrote this book to show you how you can do the same thing and reap the same kinds of benefits. But before I tell you how to bring your ideas to life, let me tell you a little more about me, because I have a feeling we're a lot alike. From an early age, I dreamed of being an entrepreneur. But I didn't want to go to college for 4 or 6 or more years to study how to create and manage a business. I didn't want to run a business with a lot of employees, overhead, debt, hassles, and headaches. I didn't want to live to work, as so many business owners and professionals do. Instead, I wanted to work to live, and to live well. More than anything, I wanted to create stuff, have fun, see the world, have a family, enjoy life. That's exactly what I've been doing for more than 30 years. I just wish someone would have told me the secrets of the game, the secrets I'm going to tell you in this book when I started out on this journey. My first foray into entrepreneurism began when I handmade soft sculpture designs and sold them at art shows and state fairs across California. That's when I learned my first big lesson in product design. When the rent is due and you're hungry, if the product you've spent several hours making doesn't sell, you quickly move on to something else. Before long, I taught myself how to make patterns and began freelancing for the biggest plush animal toy companies in the world, like Dakin Inc. Then I got my first real job, the kind with a regular paycheck, at a startup company called Worlds of Wonder, or WOW. I figured I could work at WOW during the day and do my freelance projects at night, doubling my earnings. As it turned out, I spent far more time overseeing the manufacture of products than I did designing them. Still, as head of the design group at WOW, I was involved in the design, not the creation, but the manufacturing and design, of several hit toys, such as Teddy Ruxpin, the world's first talking teddy bear, and Laser Tag, the top-selling toy of 1986. But I would often look at the new product ideas that came in and think, I can do better than that. So after 2 years, I left WOW to start my own toy creation, design, and licensing company. For a while, to pay the rent, I continued to do freelance design work for toy manufacturers including Disney, Applause, Dakin, and WOW, among others. Then I began focusing solely on creating and licensing my own ideas. I've licensed more than 20 ideas for products in such diverse fields as the toy, beverage, music, novelty, and pharmaceutical industries. Celebrities Michael Jordan and Alex Trebek have served as pitchmen for 2 of my products. Collectively, my creations have sold more than 500 million units and generated billions of dollars of retail revenue. I've served as a consultant on the reality show American Inventor and been featured on the CNBC show The Big Idea with Donnie Deutsch. I'm invited to speak at U.S. Patent and Trademark Office events, Stanford University, IDEO, one of the world's top design firms, and elsewhere. And I teach my Invent Right strategies to thousands of people. My product ideas range from the simple to the silly to the life-saving. In my view, good ideas are those that sell, plain and simple. I dreamed up a Valentine's Day dart with a suction cup and a flag reading, "I'm stuck on you." That idea brought me $10,000 in advance income with zero upfront investment. I re-envisioned the plain gray guitar pick as a blank slate for new colors and designs like skull shapes and paisley patterns, to name a few. I even made lenticular picks specifically for Taylor Swift. This simple insight upped a 25-cent purchase to a $1 purchase and has sold 20 million picks. One of my favorite early ideas was a small basketball backboard designed to look like a basketball player with his arms outstretched. Ohio Art licensed that idea from me and sold more than 1 million Michael Jordan wall balls the first year. One of my most successful ideas is the Spinformation rotating label, which adds 75% more information to bottle labels. The label has sold more than 400 million units worldwide and has won more than 15 accolades, including a gold and a bronze at the Edison Awards. In its newest incarnation, the Spinformation label, as sold by Accudial Pharmaceutical Inc., is helping prevent the estimated 30,000 cases of medicinal over- and underdosing of children nationally. On any given day, I've got 6 new ideas out to different companies. Like my students, I'm still creating. I've had a fantastic time creating new product ideas and renting them to manufacturers. It's fun. It's exciting. I'm never bored. I never run out of ideas. I never have to worry about going to work for someone else, and I never worry about money, even though I don't claim to be good with money in the conventional sense. I have many friends who spend all their time trying to figure out how to increase their wealth. They're obsessed with investing in the market and paying less in taxes. I could not care less. Money for money's sake doesn't interest me. When the stock market crashed, I was unaffected. I wasn't in it. When the recession hit, it didn't impact me. 2 of my children attended the University of California, Berkeley, and my youngest graduated from the University of Oregon. I paid for all of their college educations comfortably. Our home in Modesto, California, though lovely, was a tract house in a nice but nondescript neighborhood. We owned it outright. Although our home was not lavish, it was by our choice, and we did not live a practical lifestyle. The cars we drove, all purchased with cash, were probably too expensive, and it probably wasn't practical for us to take the kids out of school and for me not to go into the office for a month so we could go to Africa, or for 6 months so we could travel the United States together. 2 years ago, my beautiful wife and I moved to Glenbrook, Nevada, the oldest settlement on Lake Tahoe. We are delighted to have made such great friends here already. Janice and I walk several miles around the neighborhood often, stopping to gaze out across the lake and take in the colorful sunsets. I, of course, can do my work anywhere, and I'm happy to report that the view from my home office has never been better. Sometimes I still can't believe that I've been doing this for more than 30 years and making a living at it, a good living. It wasn't easy at first. It has taken a lot of hard work, and I've learned a lot along the way. I have made a lot of money and lost some as well, but I've had a ball. Anybody can do what I've done, including you. Like I said, I don't have a background in sales or marketing or engineering. All I have are ideas. Some of my ideas are great, some are okay, and some are lousy. It doesn't matter whether your idea is big or small. It doesn't have to change the world. It doesn't have to be the next best thing since sliced bread. And you don't have to quit your day job to start creating and licensing ideas. All it takes is one simple idea, and the ability to translate that idea into a product that consumers want and that a company will want to make and market for you. I've been doing this for many years, and I've taught thousands of other people how to invent right too. Now, with this book, I'm sharing this amazingly simple strategy with you so that you too can live the life of your dreams by creating great product ideas and licensing them to companies. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney. Part 1. The Power of One Simple Idea. How would you like to wake up every day eager to go to work? Better yet, how would you like to work for yourself, focusing on what you want and love to do? Even better yet, how would you like for your entrepreneurial enterprise to give you the time, energy, money, and freedom to live the life of your dreams? All you need is one simple idea and a simple strategy for bringing your ideas to market. Chapter 1. How you can create the life of your dreams. Are you a creative type who is always envisioning new and better ways to do things? Do you constantly think of ways to make things more efficient or enjoyable, more aesthetically pleasing, or just plain more fun? Do you often see ways to improve or enhance the products and services you use regularly, or ways to give them more pizzazz? Have you ever wished that you could be the one to bring those ideas to life and to actually make a living doing it? Or are you one of the millions of people worldwide who are unemployed? Do you want a livelihood that can't be snatched away tomorrow through a single stroke of bad luck like a layoff or illness? Or are you one of the many millions who are underemployed, struggling to make ends meet and bored to tears in a dead-end job? Do you need to find a way to supplement your day job without running yourself ragged? Do you dream of having a job that doesn't squander your talents and limit your earning potential? Or perhaps you're like me. You know life is short, and you don't want to waste it working just to pay bills and to build up your retirement account. You want to work in an industry that interests you, to do work you're passionate about, to have the means and the freedom to pursue your personal interests, to spend quality time with family and friends, to travel, to enjoy life. That's what I wanted. And that's exactly what I've been doing, dreaming up ideas, licensing them to companies, and living the life of my dreams. That's right. I rent my ideas to other companies. While they're making and marketing the stuff I've dreamed up, I'm collecting the rent for those ideas and doing what I love to do: create. Every day, tens of thousands of people all over the world are working for me. Box boys, cashiers, truck drivers, printers, fabricators, accountants, marketing execs, sales reps, researchers, human resources administrators, and presidents and CEOs of companies like Ohio Art, Nestle, Jim Beam, Toys R Us, Walgreens, Walmart, and others are all laboring on my behalf. They take care of the research and development, production, marketing and sales, customer service, accounting, and everything else that goes into producing and selling my creations, so I don't have to. My creativity fuels their production, and I leverage their immense power. I have found a way to make the system work for me rather than the other way around. You can too. All it takes is one simple idea, one that's ripe for the marketplace. The reason I can do this, as well as you and anyone else regardless of where you live, is a trend called open innovation that is reshaping the business world. In the past, most new product and service ideas came from inside a company or from a big design firm. Rarely would these big corporations even consider ideas from an outsider like me, a regular guy with no credentials in engineering, marketing, or design, but with a creative bent and a penchant for dreaming up cool stuff. Now, for the first time in history, companies are realizing that maybe, just maybe, they don't have all of the world's smartest and most creative people working at their companies. They have finally grasped that they can and must find new and innovative ideas from the outside. You can find many academic books on the subject of open innovation, but this is the first book to explain why open innovation is important to you and how you can use it to become a successful entrepreneur, as you'll learn in Chapter 2. Today, companies need help. They need people like you and me. It doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom, a truck driver, an aerospace engineer, or a teacher. It doesn't matter whether you have a PhD or are a high school dropout. To play the biggest, most exciting game in the world, coming up with new or improved or jazzed-up products and services, your credentials are irrelevant. All you need is a simple idea and a simple strategy for bringing that idea to market. Is it really that simple? Oh, here they come. All those but questions buzzing around in your brain. I knew they would, and I understand. What I just said and what I'm about to tell you flies in the face of conventional wisdom. Later, I'll explain how my strategy turns conventional wisdom on its head and traditional methods of innovation into the dinosaurs they are. First, though, let's get those naysaying questions out of the way. But don't I need to start a company? You no longer have to start a company to experience the entrepreneurial thrill of innovating. As you'll learn in Chapter 3, licensing your ideas lets you focus on the most exciting part of any business and leave the tough stuff, like manufacturing, marketing, and distribution, to others. In fact, it's never been a better time to be an innovator who doesn't want to start a business. There are more opportunities for us to succeed today than ever before. To my delight, innovation is popular. Nearly 8 million people tune in to watch entrepreneurs pitch their ideas on ABC's Shark Tank every week. Crowdfunding, whose campaigns are being breathlessly reported on by the media, has become a powerful catalyst for product development that shows no sign of slowing. In fact, a World Bank report projects that the global market for crowdfunding could surpass $96 billion a year by 2025. And companies whose explicit goal is to take concepts, prototypes, and nearly finished products and get them on the market, like Quirky, have risen at a rapid rate. These opportunities will be discussed at length in Chapter 20. My students and I, as well as many others I've never met, provide living proof that the American dream has far from expired. In fact, it is more alive, more accessible, and far more exciting today than it ever has been in the history of our country. You'll read many of our stories and learn all about this exciting new world of innovation and how to be a part of it throughout this book. But do I need to quit my day job? Absolutely not. In fact, I strongly recommend that you do not quit your day job until and unless you have the passion to create and license ideas as a profession, a few successes under your belt, and sufficient royalties coming into your bank account. As I always tell my Invent Right students, licensing is a numbers game. Most people have to come up with a lot of ideas before one gets licensed. It will also take time to find a licensee, and for the licensee to bring your idea or ideas to market. The great thing about licensing ideas is that it doesn't have to be a 40-hour-a-week job, even for those who are ready, willing, and able to do it full-time. When you're first starting out, or if you're doing this as a hobby or to supplement your day job, you can do it in as little as 10 hours a week or less using my 10-step strategy for creating and licensing ideas. But don't I need a patent? Well, no, and maybe yes. In my experience, you do not have to put your financial security at risk to innovate. You don't have to take out a mortgage on your home or empty out your retirement savings to get a patent on your idea. You do not need patents to license ideas, and product cycles churn so quickly that you will lose your opportunity if you spend the years and tens of thousands of dollars it takes to get a patent. Besides, if you think a patent guarantees you protection, you're crazy. First to market owns the shelf space. That's the best protection you can have. In Chapter 10, I'll show you the smart way to play the patent game. I have more than 15 patents myself. For now, just realize that patents are not nearly as important as you think they are. It really depends on the idea or invention. Read Chapter 10 to help you decide. But isn't it really hard to do this? Back when I first started licensing my ideas to big companies, it was much harder to do than it is now. Today, the pace of business is so fast and products come and go so quickly that companies simply do not have the ability to do it all on their own. Consequently, many companies have opened their doors to independent product developers like you and me, a movement called Open Innovation, which you'll learn more about in Chapter 2. The 10-step process that I teach my Invent Right students and that I've outlined in this book makes it easy for anyone to create and license ideas. But what if I don't have any ideas? Everyone has ideas. You're a consumer, right? By virtue of being a consumer, you have plenty of opinions about all the products and services you buy and use at home, work, and at play. So you do have innovative ideas. It's those ideas that companies desperately want and need. It's those ideas that can help you go into business for yourself without having to start and run a company with a lot of overhead, equipment, and people. You just need to learn how to translate those ideas into a marketable product and how to get your ideas into the right hands and in the right way. That's what this book is all about. But if dreaming up product ideas is truly not your thing, you can still get into the innovation game by becoming a connector, a product scout, someone who brings other people's ideas to companies that want and need them. Whether you're a creator or a connector, these ideas do not have to be mind-blowing. They don't have to change the world. No reinventing the wheel here, I tell my students. Companies can make huge gains from small, incremental changes and from slight improvements to existing products. I've been swimming in the innovation stream for more than 3 decades, so I know where and how to look for ideas. In Part 2, I show you how to brainstorm ideas and pick the best ones to develop for.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?